There are moments in life when the silence feels heavier than any spoken word, when the heart trembles because it can no longer make sense of the path it walks, and when the soul fears that maybe, just maybe, God has turned his face away. And if you're listening to these words right now, perhaps a part of you is standing in that silent valley, wondering why the prayers you whispered with trembling hands seemed to evaporate into the air instead of touching heaven. You look at your life and try to trace where everything began to fall apart, and you ask yourself why the weight feels so much heavier lately, why the nights seem longer, why your heart aches in places you didn't even know could hurt. But today, gently and softly, through memories of the humble servant known as St. Francis of Assisi, a message unfolds, a message that carries the breath of consolation, a message that whispers to your heart that God has not abandoned you. Not now, not ever. Even in moments when you cannot feel him, even when the world feels cold, even when you wonder if heaven remembers your name, this is a message for you who feel forgotten, for you who have cried in silence, for you who have tried to be strong for too long, for you who feel like you're sinking and no one sees, for you who believes you've reached the end of your strength. Sit with me for a moment, breathe, and let these words reach the quiet places you don't show anyone. Because today, through the spirit of St. Francis, you will discover 3 signs that prove God has not abandoned you, even when everything inside you whispers otherwise. Before we dive into these signs, let your heart rest for a moment. Imagine yourself walking alongside Francis, a man who understood poverty, rejection, illness, and loneliness, but who also understood the overwhelming love of God. His life was a living song of surrender, a reminder that even in brokenness, heaven weaves beauty. Francis knew what it was like to face confusion. He knew what it was like to feel lost, to feel small, to feel fragile. And yet, he discovered a truth so profound, it shaped every breath he took, every step he walked, every prayer he whispered. You are never alone. God is closer than breath. Even when he is silent, he is not absent. Even when he seems hidden, he is working. Even when you cannot trace his hand, you can trust his heart. And I want you to feel that today, deeply, personally, intimately. Because this message is not for someone else, it is for you. And as you walk through each sign, something inside you will begin to lift slowly, gently, like the first light of dawn breaking after a long night. Maybe you've been asking God for a sign, something to show you he's still with you. Maybe you've wondered if heaven still hears you. Maybe you've reached a point where you don't know what to pray anymore. But he brought you here for a reason. These words are not reaching you by accident. Something sacred is unfolding. And before we continue, I want you to hear this as if God himself were whispering it directly to your weary heart. I have not abandoned you. I have not forsaken you. You are still held. You are still seen. You are still loved. And I will not let you fall. Now, let us begin. The first sign God has not abandoned you is hidden inside the very place you least expect it, and St. Francis understood this more than most. It is found in the gentle stirring of your soul, that small inner voice that refuses to let you give up completely. Even when you are exhausted, even when your strength is dissolving, even when you feel empty, something inside you still reaches upward. There is still a desire, even faint, to keep going, to seek meaning, to whisper a prayer even when you feel unworthy, to look for light even when surrounded by shadows. That desire is not your own strength. That is God holding you from within. Francis believed that the longing for God is already the presence of God. And so, if lately you've felt a quiet pull to pray, even if your prayers feel weak, if you feel a strange inner whisper reminding you that things will not always be like this, if there is a small spark within you that refuses to let despair swallow you whole, this is not abandonment. This is proof that God is inside your story, breathing hope into places you thought were dead. Think of it this way. When a child is lost, he cries out, and the very fact that he cries proves he believes someone is there to find him. Your soul has been crying lately, hasn't it? Crying from fear, from fatigue, from confusion, from carrying too much. But that cry itself is a sign. The cry means you haven't given up. The cry means your spirit knows deep down that God still listens. The cry means you believe, even if you don't feel it. And God hears every trembling whisper that escapes your heart. Saint Francis used to say that even the faintest prayer from a wounded soul is more powerful than the loudest praise from someone who feels whole. So if you've been praying through tears, He has not abandoned you. If you've been holding on to faith by a single thread, He has not abandoned you. If you have whispered His name at night because you didn't know how to do anything else, He has not abandoned you. Do you know something beautiful? That small desire for God is not something you manufactured. It is something He placed within you to remind you that He is near. The human soul does not long for what does not exist. Your desire for God proves God is with you. And maybe this is why you're listening now, because something deep inside you is still reaching for Him. That reaching is sacred. That reaching is proof of His presence. That reaching is a sign that abandonment is an illusion, and His love is still wrapping itself around you, even if you cannot see it clearly. And as you let this truth settle in your heart, I want to pause gently and ask you something. If these words are touching something inside you, if you feel even a small shift in your spirit, I invite you to share in the comments below. Tell me, what have you been carrying lately? And if you prefer, simply write this: God, I trust that you are with me. This simple confession may be exactly what your heart needs to say today, and it will help you take a small but powerful step toward healing. Now let us continue to unfold this message, because there is more heaven wants to speak to your heart. The second sign that God has not abandoned you appears in the moments when life strips away everything you thought you needed, everything you believed would keep you safe, everything you once used to define yourself. And though this may sound harsh or confusing, St. Francis understood this mystery deeply. Sometimes the greatest sign of God's presence is the removal of things that were never meant to hold your soul together. Francis came from wealth, comfort, and privilege. He had everything that should have made his life easy. But in losing those things, he discovered something infinitely greater, the love of God that asks for nothing except the surrender of a willing heart. And maybe right now, you're going through a season of loss yourself. Loss of stability, loss of direction, loss of relationships, loss of peace, loss of identity, loss of dreams. And you've asked yourself over and over, if God is with me, why am I losing so much? But let me offer you a truth that Francis lived with every breath. Sometimes God allows things to fall apart, not to punish you, not to abandon you, but to create space for something deeper, something eternal, something sacred that could never grow while your hands were full. When God removes, He is not rejecting you, He is repositioning you. When life shifts, He is not detaching from you, He is drawing you closer. When you lose what you thought you needed, He is showing you that your true strength, your true worth, your true purpose, and your true identity are found in Him alone. And I know this is not easy to hear when you're tired, when you're hurting, when you're confused, but St. Francis teaches us that holy transformation often comes in the disguise of loss. The caterpillar must lose the ground it crawls on before it can touch the sky with wings. And you, dear soul, are not losing because you are abandoned. You are losing because something in you is being reshaped for what is coming. The pruning of a branch is never an act of cruelty. It is an act of preparation for greater fruit. And maybe what you are experiencing right now is not the silence of God, but the shaping of God. Maybe what feels like collapse is actually construction. Maybe what feels like emptiness is space being cleared for grace. Think about this. You would not be seeking God this deeply if everything in your life were easy. Pain has a strange and sacred way of opening the soul. And sometimes, the very seasons that seem to shatter you are the ones that God uses to rebuild you with a foundation that cannot be shaken. If you feel like you're standing in ruins right now, it does not mean God has abandoned you. It means God is preparing something different, something necessary, something holy. St. Francis lost everything that tied him to the world, but in that loss, he gained everything that tied him to heaven. And you are walking a sacred path too, even if it feels painful. God is not done with your story. The loss is not the end. The breaking is not the finale. The emptiness is not a curse. It is a sign that God is near, working quietly, weaving purpose into every thread of your pain. And now we move into the third sign, the sign that often goes unnoticed because it hides in moments too ordinary for the human heart to consider sacred. But St. Francis understood better than most that God often speaks in whispers, not thunder, in small gestures, not grand visions, in tender touches that most people dismiss as coincidence. The third sign that God has not abandoned you is found in the unexpected moments of tenderness, the small mercies that arrive without explanation, the quiet provisions that appear just when you feel like you can no longer carry the weight alone. Francis saw God in the sunlight hitting a leaf, in the gentle breeze brushing against his face, in the unexpected kindness of a stranger, in the way bread was shared, in the way his heart found peace in moments when everything around him looked uncertain. He believed that God can speak through anything that breathes, moves, shines, or exists. And if you pause for a moment, I want you to look back at these last few days, maybe even the last few hours. There were moments when something or someone tried to lift you, even if only a little. A message that came at the right time. A memory that resurfaced when you needed comfort. A verse that found you instead of the other way around. A gentle thought that reminded you you're stronger than you think. Someone who crossed your path unexpectedly and brought a sense of calm. Even the fact that you are here, in this moment, listening to these words, is one of those mercies. These moments are not random. They are whispers from heaven, signals that God has woven himself into the fabric of your daily life so subtly, so tenderly, that you might miss it if you don't slow down enough to notice. Abandonment does not bring comfort. Silence does not bring reminders. Distance does not bring mercy. If God had abandoned you, your soul would feel empty. But look closely. Something is still nurturing you. Something is still sustaining you. Something is still guiding you. These small moments are divine threads that God uses to pull you gently back to him every time life tries to pull you away. St. Francis walked through forests, through villages, through ruins, and everywhere he placed his feet, he would look for signs of God in the smallest details. He believed God reveals himself in ways that the proud overlook but the humble feel. And right now, this tenderness is reaching you because your heart has been humbled by suffering. Pain has softened you, and that softness allows you to feel God in ways you couldn't when everything was easy. God is not far. He is hidden in the subtle gestures you keep dismissing, in the unexpected moments that keep you going, in the small things that carry you when you can't carry yourself. These touches are sacred, and they are not happening by accident. They are happening because God has not abandoned you. He is walking with you through every valley, placing quiet reminders along the way so that even if you feel lost, you will never be without direction. And now, since we've gently uncovered all three signs, let us weave everything together into your own story. Because this message was never meant to stay distant, it is meant to touch your life personally. Your desire to keep seeking God is a sign of his presence within you. Your season of loss is a sign of his shaping hand upon you. And the small mercies in your daily life are signs of his active love protecting you. So tell me, which of these signs speaks more deeply to your heart right now? Share in the comments if you feel comfortable, or simply write, Lord, thank you for reminding me I am not alone. This confession opens a doorway for healing to enter. But let us continue, because your heart needs more than information. It needs restoration. It needs reassurance. It needs the gentle voice of God whispering that He is still the one holding your story. Close your eyes for a moment, even as you listen. Imagine yourself walking on a quiet path with St. Francis, surrounded by trees that sway gently as if moved by heaven's breath. The air feels still, almost sacred. There is no noise from the world, only the sound of your footsteps and the beating of your weary heart. And Francis looks at you with eyes full of compassion, full of understanding, full of the deep peace that only comes from someone who has walked through suffering and found God standing on the other side of it. He tells you that the God who created the stars remembers your name, that the God who shapes the mountains has not forgotten your tears, that the God who breathes life into every living thing is breathing strength into your soul, even now. And He reminds you of something profoundly beautiful. You were created for love. You were created to be held. You were created to walk through valleys and still rise again. No darkness can extinguish the light God planted within you. No loss can erase the purpose God wrote into your being. No silence can cancel the promises spoken over your life. And as you walk together in that quiet scene, Francis stops beneath a tree and places his hand gently over his heart. He tells you something you need to hear. The pain you are feeling is not a sign of God's absence. It is a sign of the depth of your soul. Only hearts with great capacity for love can feel this deeply, and God dwells in hearts that love. So the very fact that you are hurting right now, the very fact that your soul aches, is proof that God created something tender and sacred within you. You are not abandoned. You are beloved. You are seen. You are carried. Let us return now to your life, to your reality, to your wounds. I want you to feel these truths settling into the places where fear has been living, because fear has a way of pretending to be truth. It tells you that you are alone when you are not. It tells you that God has turned away when He has not. It tells you that your pain is permanent when it is not. And maybe fear has been whispering loudly to you lately. Fear that everything will fall apart. Fear that you are not strong enough. Fear that your prayers don't matter. Fear that God has forgotten you. But hear me gently. Fear lies. Love tells the truth. And God is love. And right now His love is telling you, I am here. I am holding you. I am working in the silence. I am turning your tears into seeds for tomorrow. Don't let fear be louder than my voice. When St. Francis faced moments of deep uncertainty, he would kneel on the ground, sometimes in forests, sometimes in abandoned chapels, sometimes in desolate places where the wind seemed to be the only thing speaking. And he would whisper, "My God and my all." These 4 words carried him through every valley, every discomfort, every loss. And maybe today you need to whisper them too, "My God and my all." These words remind your soul that you were never meant to anchor yourself in anything except Him. They remind you that even when everything else fades, He remains. They remind you that abandonment is impossible because He is the very breath sustaining your life. I want you to feel the weight of that truth. You are sustained right now because God wills it. Every breath, every heartbeat, every step you take is infused with His presence. How could a God who sustains you with every breath abandon you? How could He forget you when He is the reason you woke up this morning? And even in your suffering, He is shaping something beautiful within you, something eternal, something holy. Let us go deeper. Sometimes the very thing you are calling abandonment is actually protection. Sometimes God closes a door because what's on the other side would have destroyed you. Sometimes He delays something because your heart isn't ready. Sometimes He removes someone because their presence would have harmed your spirit. Sometimes He allows silence because He wants you to hear Him in a new way. And I know it hurts. I know you're tired. I know you want answers. I know you want relief. But trust me when I say this, if God has allowed it, He will transform it. Nothing in your life is wasted, nothing is forgotten, nothing is overlooked. Every tear you shed is collected, every prayer you whisper is recorded. Every fear you carry is noticed, every longing you feel is seen. You are not abandoned, you are being guided. And now, as we continue, let your heart open gently to receive what comes next, because we are walking toward a moment of prayer that will hold you, comfort you, and bring peace back into the quiet places of your soul. And now, as you breathe more deeply and allow this message to settle into the hidden places of your heart, we move toward a moment that Saint Francis cherished more than anything. The quiet surrender that happens when the soul finally admits that it cannot carry everything alone. This is where healing begins. Not when problems disappear, not when answers arrive, not when life becomes easy. Healing begins when you allow God to sit with you in the middle of the storm, when you stop pretending you're fine, when you stop trying to be strong for everyone else, when you let your tears speak the truth. Your voice cannot. Saint Francis understood that true strength comes from vulnerability before God, from the honesty that whispers, "Lord, I am tired. Lord, I feel lost. Lord, I don't know what to do. Lord, I need you." And maybe this is what your heart has been longing to say. Maybe you've been holding yourself together for too long, carrying responsibilities, emotions, fears, and expectations that slowly drained you. Maybe you've been pretending to be strong while your soul whispers for rest. But you don't have to pretend here. You don't have to hide your wounds. You don't have to silence your fears. This is a sacred space where God meets you exactly as you are, without masks, without pressure, without conditions. And in that honesty, He whispers back, "I know, I see, I care, and I am here." Before we move into prayer, I want you to reflect on something St. Francis taught through his life, not his words. He believed that crisis is not the end of the path, but the doorway through which transformation enters. Everything in nature proves this. Seeds break before they grow. Caterpillars dissolve before they become butterflies. The night must deepen before the dawn arrives. And you, dear soul, are walking through your own sacred transformation. The pain does not define you. The confusion does not diminish you. The loss does not erase you. You are not being undone. You are being remade. And what feels like divine silence is actually divine construction. God is building strength in the places where you once felt fragile. God is restoring hope in the places where you once felt forgotten. God is planting peace in the places where worry used to grow. And slowly, gently, you are becoming someone new, someone who will look back one day and say, "God was with me the whole time. I didn't see it then, but I feel it now." Before we go deeper into this prayerful moment, I want to pause again with a gentle invitation. If you feel that God has touched something within you during this message, I invite you to write in the comments, "Lord, stay close to me." This simple plea is a doorway to comfort, a way of letting heaven know that your heart is open, even if it is trembling. Now breathe, because we are about to enter a moment of intimacy between you and God, a moment where the Spirit of St. Francis walks alongside you, offering peace and simplicity to your weary soul. Let your shoulders relax. Let your mind slow down. Let your heart prepare itself for the embrace of the one who has never left you. Imagine now that the air around you has grown still. The world feels quieter. You can almost sense a warm presence filling the room, a presence that brings comfort without saying a word. In this scene, St. Francis kneels beside you. He doesn't speak immediately. He simply places a hand over his heart, as if praying silently for you. And then, with a voice that carries the tenderness of heaven, he begins to pray with you. "Lord, you who see the lonely and comfort the broken, look with mercy upon this soul who comes before you today. Wrap them in your peace, remind them of your nearness, and whisper into the depths of their heart that they are not abandoned. Strengthen them where they feel weak. Lift them where they feel defeated. Heal them where they feel wounded. Shine your light into every shadow and let them feel your presence in a way they cannot deny. And as Francis prays, you feel something warm inside you, a flicker of hope slowly awakening, like a candle relit after the wind tried to extinguish it. This warmth is God drawing near. It is God touching the places that hurt. It is God whispering, "I am here, I have always been here, and I will carry you forward." Let us go even deeper into this moment. Sometimes when life becomes overwhelming, you may feel like you have failed God, like you are not good enough, like your faith is too small, too fragile, too inconsistent. But St. Francis knew that God does not look for perfect faith. He looks for honest hearts. He embraces those who come to him with trembling hands. He welcomes those who feel unworthy. He loves those who feel broken, and he restores those who feel lost. The beauty of God's love is that you cannot lose it. You cannot outrun it. You cannot disappoint it to the point of abandonment. The love of God is not something you earn. It is something you are given because you are His creation, His child, His beloved. And right now, that love is breathing life into you. Think of Jesus' words, "I will never leave you nor forsake you." These are not poetic phrases meant to sound comforting. They are promises, eternal promises. And God has never broken a promise. So even if you feel alone, you are not. Even if you feel forgotten, you are not. Even if you feel abandoned, you are not. God is holding you more tightly than ever, especially in the moments you cannot feel Him. Faith is not built in moments of clarity. It is built in moments of uncertainty. It grows strongest in the dark because that is when you truly learn to trust the light. Now imagine the gentle presence of St. Francis standing beside you once more. He looks at you with compassion and speaks softly. Your suffering is not meaningless. Your tears are not wasted. Your loneliness is not unseen. God has counted every tear, every prayer, every sigh. Nothing in your heart is hidden from Him. Francis then lifts your chin gently, as if urging you to see beyond your pain, and says, "You are not walking this path alone. Heaven walks with you." And now, as we prepare to move into the next portion of this journey together, I want you to hold on to this truth. God has not abandoned you, not for a moment, not for a breath, not for a heartbeat. He has been with you in every valley, in every silent night, in every moment of fear, and He will continue to be with you as long as you walk this earth. We are not done yet. There is more comfort to pour into your heart, more healing to release into your spirit, more revelation to unfold through the gentle voice of St. Francis. And as we continue, the message will deepen, strengthen, and embrace you with even greater tenderness.